Well, welcome to the Josh Sadler Show. Glad you joined us today, and you're glad you joined us out at Raising Cane's on Wednesday. Or you watched it on Facebook or on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you might have been able to watch it. It was a great show. Had a lot of folks come out and say hello to Coach Sadler and all the gang. We talked about all the sports going on here at Killeen High School, so it was a really good visit. But we're here today to talk a little bit about Brian last week. Midway last week. I don't know why I'm thinking about Brian so much. You got them up next week.
Yep, got them coming.
So I'm getting ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stay behind you, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Let's go back to Midway. Boy, I was watching the first couple quarters, and I tell you what, it looked really good at the beginning of the ball game, and just some bad breaks. I mean, some things that just, I don't know, bad karma or something. I don't know.
Well, and that's kind of been the story of our year, and I mean it kind of goes without saying. I mean, our kids are playing hard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're right there. I mean, they score to make it a 2-score game right there at the end of the half. You know, to go ahead of us. There, you know, I thought there was a holding penalty in there that wasn't thrown. It would have probably backed them up and kept them from scoring a touchdown. Would have made it only a 10-point game because they'd have tried to kick a field goal right there, but. I think those things are huge in as far as the ebb and the flow of the game and, just the morale of kids coming in. Because if you're down by 10, when you get the football back in the beginning of the second half, it feels a little different than you're down by 14. So, I mean, it does, help you out a little bit if you get some of those breaks. But, the other night we did not. And that's just, that's kind of the way it goes. And that's the way that the ball rolls sometimes. Football doesn't roll true every single time like maybe a golf ball or a baseball. So, I mean, it's been a little wobbly from time to time. But here's the thing. I mean, I'm proud of our kids for the resilience they've had, the integrity that they've had, and the character they've shown, through all this. Because it's been a tough go. And, for them to come and day in, day out, week in, week out, and fight like they have and, go toe-to-toe with the best in our district, and they're not backing down from anybody. I know the score, showed that it got a little wide at the end, but, I mean, they don't back down from anybody, and that's what I'm proud of.
Oh, yeah. And you have the off week here to get the kids rested up and healed up some. I know you've been banged up this year a little bit, so we get them healed up and get them get their minds back in the right place, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna do some team building, and trying to just get their focus not necessarily as much maybe on football as it is more of the character stuff and the team itself and working for one another. Because football's all fine and dandy, and X's and O's are X's and O's. But at the end of the day, they've got to love one another, they got to trust one another, and they got to be willing to go out there and sacrifice for one another on any given Friday night. And that's what we're going to spend more time on. A lot of people talk about we get back to basics, we get back to this, and we do that. We're going to go back to our fall camp regimes, talking about practice schedules and things like that during our off week. But we also spend a lot of time. Helping the kids get to know one another and learning what that brotherhood truly is. Because at the end of the day, again, that's what it's all about. If those 50 guys don't go out there and play for each other, it doesn't matter what we're doing. We got we're fighting a losing battle at that point in time. So, we spend a lot of time in the off week working on stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you got Brian up the week after, so you have to look at that. So you already start to look at their film and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Pretty good team.
Yeah, Ricky's got a good ball club over there. Ricky Tullis and I have been friends for a long time, and I've followed him for a long time. We won a state championship at George Ranch, and before that when he was at Splendor, and he was a coordinator there, and I was a coordinator at Liberty, so Ricky does a good job with his football teams. I know one thing, when they step on the field on Thursday night, that they're going to be very physical and they're going to run the football. That's a staple of his. That's what he's going to do, and they're going to play good defense. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough match. It really is. But, again, I think it's a match that if we go out there and we have ourselves prepared and we play as hard as we can, we'll have a chance to win.
Let's talk about this high school and how this high school has stood behind you and is still coming to those games and filling those stands. Whether the scoreboard reads a win or not, those Rue fans are there, and they were still getting after it last week.
Yeah, I'm proud of our fans. It's not easy when you're sitting in the situation that we're sitting in. It's not easy because again, today there's a lot of fair weather fans.
Oh yeah.
If you're winning, you're great, and if you're not, you're a bum, and you
Who
move
are
on.
you?
Yeah, and what I can say is that I've heard before I came here about the Killeen faithful is holding true. And I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done to support us, through the good, through the bad, and through everything in between. And I mean, we still got people still trying to come up and feed our kids and help our kids and do everything that they can do to be a part of the program and help the program. And I can't thank people enough for that, because I mean that means the world to us. Us as a coaching staff, us as a program. To know that hey, we got it. It's been a little rough this year, but we got you back. And we're still going to support you through everything. And I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, people love winning, football games. But what I can tell you right now, the lessons that are learned are beyond the game of football. And so that's what we're focused on, and we're going to continue to focus on that. And I ask that all the clean faithful just be patient, because it will come. It will come.
Yeah, and on Tuesday you had stuff going on up here. Wednesday. And
here's the thing. Tuesday we had trunk or treat going on up here. Tuesday night we had middle school championships. Yeah, which I want to throw a shout out to our kiddos at the middle schools. Rancier 7th grade ended up winning the 3rd place game. Eastern Hills 8th grade, they were playing over at Searles 2. They lost that game, but they ended up 4th. And then both our Maynard teams won. Our Rancier 8th grade team won. So I mean, we had some great things happen. Eastern Hills 7th grade won. They were over at Shoemaker and they won. But had some great things happen on Tuesday night with our young kids. Just some success that we want to celebrate. Because we're proud of those kids and their future roos. So we're gonna get behind those guys and know that off season's coming and basketball's coming, so more success is going to be in the mix. So we're excited about those guys. And then Wednesday we got the show that we took care of at Raising Cane's, and glad to have all those folks out there. But it's been a busy week. It's a bye week, so to speak, but it has been a busy week. I've been more busy this week than I have any other week of the year so far. So, but it keeps me young, keeps me having fun.
You had a former Killeen High graduate out at Nolan Middle School coach. His last game as a middle school coach, my brother Jim Hall.
Yeah.
And so former Roo retiring.
Well, that's a good thing. I think we all, we're looking forward to a day when we get a chance to kind of, ride off into the sunset. And I've heard some great things about him, and he's, been around in some of the baseball games, got a chance to meet him and things like that. He's a great guy, and, I wish him the best.
Well, we hope to see you next week about the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same bat time, same bat channel as they used to say. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I actually do.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here with bells on, and we'll be ready to get after it and fight and be gearing up and getting ready for those Bryan Vikings. And I can't say anything else, but thanks for everything that you do, Dan, and thanks for everything that the Roo Faithful has done for us. And keep plugging, because it's coming, baby.
All right, and as always, Josh closes the show with,
hey, I appreciate you guys. We love you, and we thank you so much. And as always, go Roos.